Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Hello guys, you are once again welcome to PENDREAM TV, your #1 political channel in Ghana and beyond. Today, I want you to join me listening to another banger.
Build your mind. A culture said in an enterprise called Ghana, you are a stakeholder, I'm a stakeholder. And it will take our collective effort and it will build your mind, more mind, and see whichever capacity form, whoever you are, you have a role. Mine and you'll be a Japadi and you'll be a Jaboso. So you have the right. So but you are doing quite your first way because it take that and I had to build them on mine everywhere. So it is very imperative, sir, and I'm saying and now will be say for your support all the time. Yeah, they are building this page up to now. I do appreciate it. I hope, sir, that this coming year, we will move to a next height. But to achieve that, or input, your support, your subscription, everything is very, very important to bit me a boy. And I think that there is a very important issue that has been in circulation that I think we need to speak to it. The issue has to do with the IMF and the fifth review about one thing and the commenter IMF and my concerning it and the ongoing discussion on various social media platforms and on TV station. Listening to some of the debates, you could see clearly there is a certain twist and turns in the where manner the report was written. There has been a certain deliberate attempt to pick on some individuals, especially Sammy Gyamfi as a CEO of Gold Board. A man for Adan Akusino, so as if the gentleman has done something so dangerous to the extent say people have just decided to pick him, vilify him, and make it look like Wakoton Gold Aboka. When in reality, what has been portrayed in the IMF report, does not speak anything about Gold Board. Say Gold Board Akwakoboka. Maybe a report, what the speculative one there, Obia Kana, what it's a long document. Taking the time to read through. I mean, who baby I yashada specifically apportion blame to Gold Board, say Gold Board, a cotton gold, na Gold Board, a boka, anunti. A month for Sammy Gyamfi, I gold shirt. There are some funny videos trending on other things there. You see, if we really want to get serious as a country, now you perceive move on. We just need to get our fact right. Nasa ye kase ye can't semna. Let us do away with personalities and individuals and look at the core critical issues, the agencies and whatever that is involved, and then lend the credence to the conversation. But the very moment we begin forcefully to pick on an individual, let us demonize him. I am not sure say are good for our politics. Because Maka, in the last 10 months, if there is somebody wabua in the stabilization of our economy, Sammy Gyamfi and his outfit, the Gold Board. Considering the amount of forex and if you look at the entire IMF report, it's commendation throughout, and this commendation not coming at the back of some of these interventions, but suddenly amount for real fee all the gains. The fact is the dollar is stable. The fact is inflation has dropped significantly. The fact that Ghana is not quick going out there to go and borrow. The fact that your debt to your GDP has dropped significantly to somewhere around your friends saying 45%. To the extent say Ghana, the reserve are per the IMF conditionalities, we need to have, we have exceeded that particular target. All these things are the fact and the realities, and they end up pinning on very critically the outfit and the operations of Gold Board and the Sammy Gyamfi and the operations of the Gold Board. But suddenly, people have diabolically attempted or tried to vilify the gentleman to look like Wakoton Gold Aboka, and I've gone through a lot of platforms. Man for don't care. Some people don't even understand what has happened. They don't even know the issues. It's just Sammy Gyamfi has been mentioned. Ain't and I think that it's sad. It's very funny, and Emma, the seriousness that has to be attached to this whole thing, as a echo. So IMF, Akufo-Addo Aban call IMF kwaje $3 billion. Omo ede maya in trenches. And Sikano omubune apuna 375 million ya de mawa. Na ya de saying pay the paper show with some with conditionalities. You take all of them. So with me, all the benchmark and take here. That is when the IMF will give you the next way. A bit to Zambia kwa GB. Box not take care back on they couldn't meet the conditionalities now IMF has stated, So the next payment, and you skip it. A basana, it will throw off the program of GA. But you take all the boxes and that's a follow. And see, I think that your fifth first drawings in here are basically bring it to 2.8 billion. So can you saying $3 billion, meaning aka 200 billion, $200 million. I say and Saka now IMF seek disbursement, I read. So this fifth review, and IMF at the report by trying to do an overview of the entire economy, what we need to do, what the right. And initially the report by has to do with the Sikana Bank of Ghana at the share forest just to stabilize That particular issue was twisted because people made it look like IMF was concerned that Bank of Ghana at the Sika shore up the forest. My culture said that has been a long-standing practice. Even the most advanced economies, my culture said America has this swapping line with some of the critical some of the big countries, the European Bank, the Bank of England, Bank of Japan, then as a forum, because whenever they need this dollar, I bet me a stabilizer or move because they have that swap line with America, and quickly the money goes in. There are other countries like South Korea, and then as a forum, they have different arrangement with America, and then as a forum, sometimes the reserve, the treasury is converted into dollars, and the money is given to them. Sebaya, a bit easy the pressure in the economy. So the central bank moving in to do some of this intervention. Makazo said the danger that comes with it. They say when you are burning your reserves, Sikana is a woody eguho would be those near transactions up and down. What time says Sikano yes and near man a drew one as a win but import cover. Ghana we see the 3 months, 4 months Sikano. Because there is an influence, we've even gone or exceeded that particular threshold. It means there is an allowance on the part of Bank of Ghana to do certain things. So what IMF said at the time, they said there should be transparency in the way a manner Bank of Ghana intervening that forest way. And from I think from September, Bank of Ghana started publishing how much we are pushing in. I think the earlier it was 1.2, later 1.4, 1.2, then 800, yes, $800 million. So there has been that transparency in line with the IMF prescription. Sebaya yebehu actresses Sika way and a Bank of Ghana a pushy to shore up the defense the forest market and Sebaya way. The question is do you have extra? The answer is yes, then there is no problem. So that is when the gentleman went on TV, Koka said, oh, John Mahama ba ye. Now, no, Papa be yourself and Kokofo, so when UTV and I say, Ghana buying at 10 billion, Eddie, Aqua share your friends say forex market in him at the cost or at the expense of the taxpayer. Let me say, really, these are people. I'm not say your politics now you're moving me. But how can you sit on TV now? Because 10 billion no at the cost of the taxpayer. I see the 10 billion is gone. Now Ghana economy that way say $10 billion a free man economy in bubu. This economy said $10 billion if free this economy one. So common sense should be enough incentive to provoke you. Say it's not possible. Say I buy for $10 billion. That is not the case. The money central bank give, money that is given to the commercial banks. These are dollars. We have it in excess already. Your reserve everything. No, yes, CD away. We have extra way. There is pressure in the system, so commercial bank have access to $1, so that businesses and as for ban more physical trade and they will get it. And in return, Bank of Ghana takes the CD or any other say valuable equivalent. So Bank of Ghana is not a charity organization that takes $10 billion, as they say, bank say, matwogu system num. And how can you sit on TV and say, at the expense or at the cost of a taxpayer? It means that money is being flected away, and the state is losing, which is never the case. That is what the gentleman sat on Adum TV and said. Probably they didn't understand what they were saying, but the reality is that whenever money push it into the system, and that money does not go waste. My culture, you can trace when this whole thing started. It becomes a danger when or minor air ban and a reserve when you don't have. But in this case, we do. So it means there is no problem. Because at the end of the day, you weigh the benefit against the other side. The major concern in this particular country, man, near when you now call haywire, the central fiber. I control the economy of this country is the stability of the dollar. So if it is stabilized and the businesses begin to gather momentum, now economy is stable, Ghana that is all that governance is supposed to be about. Even though, and you also be looking at the long term, boost production. Now a minor naturally will also in other forms and answer sikana edo kwa abontin bebrebe no ema dollar no as it is esobete. But within this short period, these are some of the critical interventions that the government can put in place to ensure we achieve that broader objective of ensuring there is certain economic stability. Ghana, your microeconomic prospect, everything will look, and that assurances will come, and investors will bring their money, and things will stabilize. And that's exactly what is in play. So the twist and turns, the other side, the flip, the political machinations, and those kind of, invention, those stratagems, those, I don't know, agendas or connivance or whatever among certain individuals just to paint this whole thing to look like. My question is that, is it the economy that is on good footing that Ghana for Yempa now say we want to go back to our old days? And now because John Mahama na yenti na hoya bufu ekaya nkwanka nye eniso ne na yenkade, what is the problem? And again, back to this gold bond thing. My culture said, okay, report now. Bank of IMF nyanka baby asa Sammy Gyamfi akoton gold aboka. It is never anywhere. But this is what happens. Based on their assessment in Nasefo no Okase, some domestic gold purchasing program that has been in play since 2022 opposed to a risk to Ghana economics the sustainability of the Bank of Ghana operations. And say either say you be put a stop to it, or and my example say abra gold for oil but umiakofa by 2022 or minor boka $125 million. Sasikan emu 30% is attributed to the sale of $0.8 billion in gold. So it means your cotton gold less than 1 billion boka over 135 million dollars. Now obi create a central pool and they buy all the gold in this particular country. That's all cotton, not sebi or boka 200 way krana. Within this particular context, among for the year politics, you cannot justify it. I am not seeking to justify anything, but I'm making comparisons because people who are spreading, making it look like Obia cotton gold, aboka and so forth. No. This is what happened. I generated 125 under gold for way, and that particular intervention did not bring any forest to stabilize the economy. That is why another $16 in as a form, no. Because under certain shady circumstances, a cop sikan on my back, you said aquaje oil. But in this particular instance, IMF say, sa program na or more yeno, and your gold board, and your Bank of Ghana, and they traded that particular gold because PMC na or no when the Bank of Ghana that particular arrangement, Bank of Ghana trying to accumulate gold reserve along the way. So that connection, and yes, Sammy Gyamfi the bakery, it has been there already. And whereby and on the other say you're creating a central pool, gold board with a mandate just like cocoa board. And the other say gold will be a cost of my muha piano will go through your friend saying gold board. And the idea is that there will not be other your friend saying avenues so gold macro. So when we centralize everything and the money goes, it will come to us as a country. And the dividend is justified by over $10 billion that has been generated thus far from the Sammy Gyamfi's outfit. So this trading is done in the name of Bank of Ghana. A Bank of Ghana and a trading. And I'll say there is a likely as a result of trading in the gold, which is done by Bank of Ghana. Then the off-takers fee, but also the off-takers fee. So this particular loss now done by because Bank of Gold Board and a cotton gold and to gold no from aggregators and all the other. And that off-takers fees your friend saying Bank Gold Board and Konguram and Konkoto Gold. They have license agencies or more called aggregators or more top gold, Then the Bank of Ghana Gold Board will buy from some of these people. So in between the charges and the fees that these people put on buying and selling to Gold Board, a honor fee, and that is done everywhere. So the attribution is a kana about 200 when could be as a result of that particular medal now or motor gold no free and they say yakwa cotton gold and even that particular amount now has been disputed by Bank of Ghana in their latest report. We can't even say absolute because almost say the accounting figures now. There has been some misunderstanding between Omo and the IMF in their last meeting concerning how Ombe accounted for the various indicators we now involved in this whole transaction because the disagreement, this Bank of Ghana think say cut, but IMF free say cut. So that contention is still hanging and resolve here. So now Bank of Ghana was expecting say at least auditors and other people will get involved. Or more this thing constitutes a debt, this thing constitutes a loss, and then as a then but that thing hasn't been done. Then quick IMF added this particular report about Bonting. But you see, I am not disputing or discounting the figures IMF data Bonting. Omona we are privy to documents, and Bank of Ghana is also privy to Sammy Gyamfi's outfit is also involved. But the purpose of this video is to, you see, nullify the notion that has been created. Says Sammy Gyamfi cotton gold na waboka. That is never the case. The gold for reserve program no crown and your gold board mandate at Bank of Ghana. So if there is any loss, possible, how then do people quickly draw the young man on social media? Now you the gold assistant, you the gold making it look like cotton gold and a wedding. And I think that is the dirty part of our politics that we need to, because if there is somebody who deserve a commendation under this present government, I think that you cannot do away with Sammy and his outfit gold board. And it has been the game changer in the Ghana's operations of our economy. because and sika na ye brepa ansa na yenya. Forget about whether and again Bank of Ghana yenuanom nam social media omo na Sammy Gyamfi na Bank of Ghana. It will interest you to know, say, Omasha see a tiny Bank of Ghana into a printing press in a year. Bank of Ghana bought 60.8 billion Ghana cedis. We love you. 60 billion. 60.8 billion. Oh, Kroma. In a single year, Oman Koton Godo. They were just, your friends saying, cash, printing a pine, write institutions debt, whole lot. And I chance that the details has been explained in the previous video. The following year, now and I'm 10.5 billion Ghana cedis. The following year, Bank of Ghana eboka 9.5 billion. These are on record. So assuming this year Bank of Ghana eboka $214 million. Is it anything comparable to 60 billion, 10 billion, 9 billion? So I think that politics, sometimes is so dirty. To the extent say a man for nichi kind say idea nipa ye but enam say on na ye ntim mpani pa na 70 yen say no. Because Sammy's outfit, the operations of Gold Board, and the idea behind it, let's say, forex yen shorted that. And Kenya, within the last, Gold Board has been in operation for just 8 months. 8 months, it has generated almost $10 billion. Don't you think the idea and the fact say omokoton gold no mudi sika no ba because yetiamaka cocoa board, I can authoritatively tell you say yakoton cocoa na sika ni nyina makroma. Yes, cocoa board na ewi na ye de cocoa beans ka Mahama ba ye onyan kodua cocoa NDC ni bia nkodua the quarter of your fans me say quarter by second quarter of this year. Na cocoa board sika wa generate so chan de nya na we nyina. There na asesa. Because people are properly accounting for the numbers. That is now the money is flowing. The forest no eba. And in a Bank of Ghana, I need that particular luxury to be able, because in the past, we need to wait like 6 months for IMF. Say over my yen, $395 million. They have a system room, and Sunny Timia has a bit stabilizer and assassin. But then, Cocoa Board is generating money, even though it's nothing compared to what Gold Board is significantly generating money. So problem na economy no one has to do with forex, the shortage. I'm a nema boya den, and that is what the Sammy's outfit has been able to solve. If there is a problem, because it's a new agency, it's a new institution, even if there is a problem, we can look forward and see how a bit next time, no. And one of the proposals is a Bank of Ghana and whom free gold trading in as a foreign, because now I'm focusing on the mandate, and this can solely rest on the shoulder of the Gold Board. Now on the operations, making sure say everything concerning gold is done by Bank of Ghana, just like Cocoa Board, and operations. So it's a learning curve, and this is the first year of an institution, and within a period of 10 months. Atimia generated this huge sum of money at day, and a Ghana yampa the panaya sendi pasa. And the sad aspect of it is that people who are on social media talking about some of the don't even understand what is happening. So please stop personalizing this thing. And yes, I made them feel cotton gold. And then your Gold Board now boka. That is why I submit a seriously challenging the Gold Board more, but people don't understand, because reporting about and yet Gold Board report, it has nothing to do with the finances of Gold Board. No, it is Bank of Ghana. And now more cancer, a kind of more cancer Bank of Ghana abono. It could the possible way no, yes or makoton, trading losses, but also, and that is the term I have the report. It's a long, it's about 100 and something, 120 something page document. And also, gold board off takers, because on the top from the aggregators, the pricing differences. And don't forget, sir, gold board buys the gold. The whole it's a certain policy kind of initiative. The whole thing is to break away from this culture of for smuggling the gold. So as a new entity, it is trying to make sure, say, Adentina, cocoa board, cocoa boom sometimes, in as much as the farmers deserve, sometimes is to ward off smugglers. So to be able to buy, to get Sabaya, Obama aggregators or motor gold, no the gold na brown license, we need a gold na brown. You need to incentivize them because it's a new operation in as a form of echo. So the gold board can be assessed better when it is given time to operate, maybe 1 year, full 1 year, 2 years. That is when you can fully, because first year of its operation, it will do some of these things just to ensure, say, because on mine, one of our major problem has to do with smugglers. Our model gold, no cotton, fat crime, the assembly. So as an entity, they need to entice people to sell the gold to its appropriate forum, i.e. the gold board. And then the gold goes to Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana does the trading. So at the end of the day, if something has happened, Yaja Bank of Ghana ha jobia ho eja gold board no ho ehwehwe abrantie bi friend Sammy Gyamfi yenya no. It's not fair. And I think the bastardization and the whole lot of is funny. And when you dwell much on that, it takes away credibility. But catch us, some of us are committed to defending this particular state. We will continue to remain the gatekeepers. No emotions, don't personalize the issues, speak to the fact. Say gold board, a cotton gold, a boca, na catching chin say numbers, there is a contention, and until that is resolved, they will not accept the things that is still speculative or tentative until the proper accounting way is agreed on and it's established. Now say you want to go ahead with that, you are entitled to. But don't be branding people who are trying so much to help the system to stabilize the economy. Because if there is somebody who deserves a commendation, we President Mahama Fluak, I can tell you, say, Sammy Gyamfi, and then the outfit because of their intervention. Or 1 year, the economy now, who know what taking things for granted. Don't forget, baby, and your war, baby, agent. So I think, say, let us be fair. Na obi o deserve credit, So one fan mana, don't attempt to smear the person. You may not like him, and that is your business. But the fact is that the gentleman is doing a great job, and I think, on that basis, isn't it never right anywhere for Obi to single him out? Now you are dripping with gold. I'm fire flyer. Sammy Gyamfi is the only person who sells gold. This is totally mischievous, very malicious. And it does not tally with the fact on the ground. The IMF report and many and the fact of the matter is that you see I have issue with so-called the big media houses. When the report came, somebody read it and decided to skew it. Unsa Ghana hana samba obi nipa no mokasa no about 90% nyam IMF report no when kura nyam huye. Some might have read the summary on the website, but the actual report no don't know kura nyam huye. But Kwaku can say, and I'm not free her, and I'm free her, and I'm free her. Sanity at the report now. Every day, Obi twisted the fact to make it look like gold board, a cotton gold, a bocano. That is the narrative among for the Namkrum. Obian taking the pen to look for the document, read, and ascertain the fact therein to make his own independent analysis. Radio station, TV station, been at the Bible and say, I say gold board, but the thing has nothing to do with gold board. Has nothing to do with Sammy Gyamfi. Has nothing to do with, but your friend said the financial standing of gold board has nothing to do with it. But quickly, assemble, sometimes take your time. Look for your own fact. Read, understand, make a valid point. After consuming all the facts, if you still want to accuse Sammy in the gold board now, that's fine. But in the absence of all these things, don't dwell on speculations and make conclusive remarks. Say, oh, I got on gold aboka, or no one at on gold aboka. It's highly unreasonable. That is also speculative, malicious, and they feed it into the larger politics now. As a new party to an ankasano, yeah, a bit more, yeah, dada. None of Masamaba, and you're no crab time to my dear friend. We don't move a nation like that. The young people are more decided to help, no. There is enough ingenuity, wisdom, and this thing that these people, some of these things, don't do things to throw people off. I bet I crowd mine on who knew Biakra man in some more. Or more movie amona and Becoso area. And the poor will continue to remain poor. And yet, the current state of this particular economy, a benefit will be. And that is good. Anyway, thank you very much for your time here. My culture on subscribe. This is Christmas, but it is what it is. We are here once again to walk into the issues, just to, pick up. My culture said this is your most reliable source of all the credible information be out there. We say, and most of the so-called big platforms you see, they advertise lies, they advertise ignorance, they advertise political propaganda.
Thank you for watching. PENDREAM TV really appreciate your time and say God bless you for the good work you are doing. We much appreciate your time here on PENDREAM TV. And if you really enjoyed this video, please do leave a comment below, like and also share to other members to watch as well. Don't forget to subscribe to keep you updated whenever you made a post. Thank you and stay blessed.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.